Hi, I'm Cliffhanger, and this is the Movie Guns. 17 kids from one school class have disappeared without a trace. They simply left their homes one terrible night and ran away carelessly in an unknown direction. Everyone, except one boy. The parents panic, the police give up, and the locals go crazy with paranoia. In a movie, the script is written twice, on paper, and in the editing room. It is editing that decides whether a scene will keep you in suspense or fall apart into random shots. You can master this art and reach the industry level on the course Editing Director from Skillbox. It is 70% practical. You will edit commercials, trailers, clips, interviews, and even a short film. These are not lectures for show. This is real production experience. You will master the main software of the industry: Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, and Avid Media Composer. Yes, the same one that Netflix and HBO are built on. By the time you graduate, you'll have a portfolio of 6 projects that you can immediately show to clients and employers. And what's important is that Skillbox doesn't give up. The Career Center will help you put together a resume, pass an interview, and even get vacancies that are not publicly available. Plus a bonus course in the history of cinema and a whole year of English. After graduation, you will be able to work on films, advertising, clips, and content for YouTube. The average payment for a project at the start is 100,000 rubles. The course offers interest-free installments, so you can start training right now and make the first payment only in 6 months. And with my promo code SKILLCUT, you will get a discount of up to 60% and a course on neural networks as a bonus. So scan the QR or follow the link in the description and take the first step into a profession where you set the rhythm, manage emotions, and turn shots into history. The film begins with a child's voiceover, telling that these events took place 2 years ago. However, the witnesses prefer not to talk about them. It all started at school, when 3rd grade teacher Justine discovered that out of 18 students in her class, only Alex showed up for class. The remaining 17 students left their homes at exactly 17 a.m. last night and ran away in an unknown direction. No one understood anything, so the investigation has reached a dead end. A month after the disappearance, the authorities have no version of what happened. The parents blame Justine for everything. She is the only thing that connects the missing children. During the meeting, the woman tries to explain that she is also having a hard time dealing with the disappearance of her students. Her speech engages those gathered, which forces the school principal Marcus to accompany her to the car to avoid incidents. On her way home, the teacher stops at a liquor store to stock up on medication for her melancholy. Returning home, she hears suspicious knocks at the door. Fearing that these are vengeful parents of her students, the woman arms herself with a pepper spray and goes to see who is causing the trouble. But there is no one outside. Only a fresh sandwich is flying on the side of the car. In the morning, the director announces that for the sake of public peace, Justin should go on vacation. The upset woman wants to talk to Alex, who was transferred to another class, but the boss hints that it is not worth it. Justine goes to the police station to file a property damage report. There she spots Paul, her ex-boyfriend and happily married police officer. That evening they meet at a pub, where they get drunk enough to wake up at the woman's house. Alcohol, as usual, plays tricks on your memory. You don't remember what happened yesterday, but you remember your exes. During the day, Justin follows Alex and goes to his house, but no one opens the door. Noticing that the windows are covered with newspapers from the inside, the woman peers through the crack. She sees the boy's parents sitting motionless on the sofa. They do not react to the noise. Justin reports the parents' strange behavior to the principal, asking him to check on them. That night, the woman has a nightmare. She walks down a dark school corridor to a classroom where children sit with their heads down. When Alex looks up, his face is painted with creepy clown makeup. After a false awakening, the teacher sees an old woman with similar makeup on the ceiling. The teacher continues to follow when the student aggressively asks not to follow him. Watching the house, Justin falls asleep in the car. When it gets dark, Alex's mother comes out of the building with a jerky gait, scissors in hand. She gets into the car and cuts a lock of the teacher's hair. The story switches to Archer, the father of the missing boy Matthew. Having a hard time in the morning, the father sleeps in his son's room and watches the CCTV footage of him running away into the night. In the afternoon, the man goes to the police station to talk to the sheriff. Paul's main complaint is that Justine was not arrested. Despite her drunk driving record, there is simply no evidence linking her to the children's voluntary escape. It was Archer who accused Justine at the meeting and wrote the graffiti on her car. At night, he has a nightmare. The kids from the baseball team have disappeared even from the photograph. On the street, Archer sees his son running away. Running after him, he finds a house with a huge machine gun hanging in the night sky above it. Archer goes up to the children's bedroom, where he finds his son lying under the covers. In a flash of lightning, his face turns into an old woman's in clown makeup. Waking up, the man wonders where his son ran to. Taking out a map of the city, he drew a straight line in the direction of the boy's movement. Archer then went to the mother of another missing child to look at the camera footage. Archer plots the fugitive's vector of movement, superimposing it on the map. 2 lines at the intersection point allow us to mark the supposed area where the children were heading. However, the builder does not have time to test the theory. Seeing Justine at the gas station, he turns off to make a scene. The conversation is interrupted by the appearance of a blooded Principal Marcus running with a mad look at them. The man attacks the teacher. Archer has to save her from the boss, who is rushing towards Justine with an obsessive frenzy. The story switches to Paul. After meeting his ex, he drives around the city, noticing a suspicious guy trying to break into a window. When asked not to move, the would-be robber takes off down the alleys. The officer chases him down to corner him in a small area. After handcuffing him, Paul searches him. He asks if the man has any sharp or pointed objects. After receiving a negative answer, Paul searches the detainee, but stumbles upon a needle, cutting his finger until it bleeds. In a fit of uncontrollable fear of contracting AIDS, Paul knocks out the deceiver with a blow to the ear. After treating the wound, he realizes that the incident of police violence was caught on camera. Paul convinces the revived prisoner that he will get off with a simple warning if he leaves town. Back at the station, the officer confesses to his boss what happened. If the victims complain, they will have some fun bureaucratic days. But if there is no statement, then in a month the recording will be automatically rewritten on the server. And then nothing can be proven. But when he comes on shift after a night with Justine, he notices yesterday's detainee, whom he chases, having turned off the camera in advance. The story switches to James, a drug addict and a vagabond living in a tent in the woods. He is depressed that he has run out of drugs, has nothing to shoot up with, and nothing to smoke. In order to get money for a new dose, the guy calls his relatives and friends while checking parked cars for open doors. Having stolen a children's backpack with headphones and a tablet, he hurries to hand over the swag to a pawn shop. But the local Sidorovich does not intend to play at being noble and refuses to buy junk. James tries to get into someone else's apartment, which is why the floor catches him for the first time. When the cop lets him go, the junkie wanders around in the rain. Noticing that Alex's house is full of bills from the mailbox, he realizes that no one is inside. James climbs into a second-story window. While wandering, the drug addict arms himself with a pillowcase so that he has somewhere to put his goodies. While checking the video equipment, the thief notices people on the sofa in the black mirror of the TV Alex's parents. Having fallen into a kind of catatonic stupor, the owners ignore the drug addict. Emboldened, he greedily rakes in the silverware. In search of loot, the guy goes down to the basement, where he sees children standing in the dark. As soon as they turn around, James panics and does the same thing as the sea witch did to the mermaid, legs. While handing over silver at a pawn shop, he sees a notice about a reward for information about missing children, 50,000 evergreen skins of American presidents. James decides that this is a great chance to earn some honest money and calls the police to find out who the brother-in-law is. But at the entrance to the station, yesterday's cop spots him, forcing him to quickly run away. James runs into his native forest, where he sees a painted red-haired old woman waving at him with the charm of the demonic clown Pennywise. The junkie hides in a tent, armed with used syringes. When someone opens the zipper, the junkie strikes back. Outside, Paul, a police officer, is standing. With a new dose of potential speed oozing out of his face, he threatens the addict with a shotgun. James says he'll show him where the missing children are. The officer handcuffs the suspect and throws him into the patrol car. Arriving at Alex's house, Paul leaves the addict locked up and goes into the house. James hangs in the car for several hours until it gets dark. Only then does the officer return. Paul silently opens the door and drags the prisoner along. The story switches to Director Marcus. After Justine's tip, he is forced to talk to Alex's parents. Since they are sick, Aunt Gladys arrives, made up as if she had come to kill Batman. Despite the assurance that the boy is fine, Marcus insists that he must meet the parents in person. The next day, Gladys visits Marcus at home. During the conversation, she asks for a drink of water, but not from a mug, but from a bowl. When the owners give her what she is looking for, the woman takes out a thorn tree branch wrapped in a ribbon stolen from Marcus's office. Having cut her hand with a thorn, the old woman smears the craft with blood, after which she cuts off a lock of hair from Marcus, who rushed to bandage the neighbor's wound. The guest gets a bell, the ringing of which paralyzes the owner. Then Gladys wraps the neighbor's hair around a branch and breaks it. This action causes the bewitched Marcus to attack his neighbor and beat him to death with his own head. Dr. Strange's magic was more friendly. To stop the spell, Gladys throws a broken branch into the water and Marcus freezes. The witch wraps the rest of the wand with Justine's hair and repeats the ritual. The director takes off and runs away from the house across the city without slowing down. Powerful magic leads him straight to his goal. The woman hides in a store while a construction worker tries to knock out the bewitched principal. When the teacher flees in a car, Marcus continues the chase on foot. Archer follows, witnessing the deranged runner get hit by another car. Archer visits Justine in the hospital to apologize for not trusting her. He says that Marcus moved in a familiar pattern, similar to running en route. The missing children in the videos also ran away. The man shows the teacher the intersection point of the fugitive's vector. Justin recognizes Alex's house. The story switches to Alex, the quiet one, who is bullied by his classmate Matthew. When picking up his son from school, his father tells him that Aunt Gladys is coming to visit. That evening, the boy watches through the window as the guests help move their belongings, including a roller with a thorny tree. In the morning, the boy looks into Aunt Gladys's room from the adjoining bathroom. She frightens him with her sick, old look and open eyes. That day, for the first time, his father did not pick him up from school, forcing him to walk back. At home, Alex finds his parents frozen in some kind of paralysis. The child tries to get through to them, but nothing works. Now Aunt Gladys is in charge. In the evening, Gladys explains to the boy that he must keep her visit a secret. To make him obey, she uses witchcraft to make his parents poke forks into their faces. A frightened Alex agrees to obey. In addition to going to school, he is left to take care of his helpless parents. He has to spoon-feed them canned soup. Gladys confesses to the boy that she is seriously ill. She needs help to get better and leave. She asks Alex to bring one thing from each of his classmates. During a physical education lesson, the boy steals the children's drawings, almost getting caught by the teacher. That same evening, the witch performs another ritual. At exactly 17 a.m., all of Alex's classmates run out of their houses and run toward them in a friendly crowd. After the school children disappear, the authorities conduct an investigation. In order to divert suspicion, the witch tells Alex to clean up, tidies up his father herself, and hides the other children outside for a while. When the commotion died down, Gladys locked the captives in the basement, feeding on their childish energy, leaving only Alex unchecked. He has to feed the whole gang. Returning home with canned goods, the boy sees the captives, a policeman, and a drug addict. Gladys tells him to pack his things. They are leaving tomorrow. She also forbids him to step over the salt, which has restricted the entrance to her room, placing her parents on guard. At night, the boy sees a car from the window opposite the house. Justin and Archer watch them. When it gets dark, the adults enter the house. As soon as they step over the salt on the floor, the possessed Paul and James attack. Archer beats up a drug addict, but he gets up again and again, feeling no pain. Paul strangles his ex, who fights back with a potato peeler. Only by pulling out his ex's service pistol was the teacher able to kill him. After which the man goes down to the basement, where he sees the missing children. He is looking for his son when he stumbles upon the witch. Gladys, having torn off the medallion, sets the guest on the teacher. On the second floor, Alex realizes it's time to act. Stepping over the salt line, he provokes his parents to attack. The boy runs to his room, locking the door, from where he sneaks through the adjoining bathroom into his aunt's bedroom. Taking one of its branches and a wig, he locks himself in the toilet. While the furious parents break down the door, the boy winds a hair from the wig onto a stick, creating an artifact. When he is done, he pierces his finger with a thorn to smear the resulting product with blood and break it. Suddenly, the sound of dozens of feet is heard. The children from the basement are running after her soul. Realizing that she has become a victim of her own spell, the witch runs away, but a crowd of loud teenagers pursues her throughout the entire block, through the yards and houses of neighbors. The youth catches up with the witch and piles on her to carry out the order. A few moments later, the old woman is torn to pieces, and the children freeze near her body. Archer, awakened from the spell, lets go of Justine and follows the trail of the escaped children. The teacher goes upstairs where she finds Alex. He is hugging his parents, who are frozen in stupor. Archer finds the children near the remains of the witch. The man picks up his son and carries him home. The voiceover says that after the spell, Alex's parents never came to their senses. They were locked up in a mental hospital, and he was given to other relatives. The children were returned to their parents. After a while, some of them regained the gift of speech.